baking your own bread, and we're all really happy about it.
So I learned to bake bread from a wonderful woman named Tina.
Because you have nothing but free time.
And I have now made it everyone's problem.
Yeah.
It's like when I have a hobby, it becomes an obsession, and then it becomes my entire personality. And so I've made you some bread.
You made me some bread, and I want to say I do want to say, I feel like this is an intervention on behalf of your friends and family.
Yeah, I thought it might be.
Like, everybody's excited about the bread. The bread puns
have to stop.
Yeah, like, this is great. I mean, again, like, I got bread from Taylor Swift, but then it said, "Are you bready for this?"
Yeah.
And then, I mean,
yep.
The fate of Dophilia.
Yeah.
But there's a moment.
Some of my best work, and I feel like it's not gonna. Would go to the tents and like give me the tea afterward.
Yeah.
Like we'd do the debrief afterward in the car, and so I was like, I gotta let you know, like your favorite director is in the.
Taylor Swift is no stranger to reinvention, but her latest transformation is more dazzling and divisive than ever before. At 35, the pop superstar seems to exist in a perpetual spotlight, using it as both armor and amplifier. With the release of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl in Style, Swift is strutting into uncharted territory, bearing not just her legs in a sizzling Weerho corset and mini skirt combo, but her soul, her heart, and controversially, her most private desires. If you thought you knew Taylor Swift, buckle up. The journey is just beginning, and the road ahead is paved with sequins, sharp lyrics, and a parade of headlines. It was a night made for headlines. Swift, with those famous legs on display, stepped out in a brocade Weerho corset and matching miniskirt that screamed confidence and charisma. The look was completed with a dazzling Meteora collar necklace by David Morris and metallic aqua Zura sandals, shimmering under the flashbulbs. But the most talked-about accessory was her massive engagement ring, a sparkling symbol of her high-profile romance with NFL star Travis Kelce. Her hair, impossibly long and styled in effortless waves, framed her face in signature cat eyeliner. To the untrained eye, it was just another glamorous appearance. But to Swifties, it was a declaration. Taylor was in her showgirl era, and she was inviting the world to watch. With fame comes scrutiny, and Taylor's latest record has drawn plenty. Critics have called out her blunt lyrics, labeling some songs cringe, and questioning her new, bolder songwriting style. But in typical Swift fashion, she's refused to back down. Instead, she's leaned into the chaos. On the Zane Lowe show for Apple Music, she put it plainly, "I welcome the chaos. If it's the first week of my album release, and you're saying either my name or my album title, you're helping." In other words, all press is good press, and Swift knows exactly how to use it. She's not here to police art or feelings. "I have a lot of respect for people's subjective opinions on art. I'm not the art police," she said. "Everybody is allowed to feel exactly how they want." Her mission, she says, is to be a mirror, reflecting her own truth and inviting others to see themselves in the music. Swift's music has always blurred the line between public and private, but The Life of a Showgirl takes that tension to a new level. The tracks are confessional, sometimes uncomfortably so. The most headline-grabbing? Wood, a sultry, overtly sexual single that left even longtime fans reeling. Historically, Swift's lyrics about intimacy have been coy, wrapped in metaphor and coded language. Not this time. In Wood, she sings, "Kelce's love was the key that opened my thighs." A line so direct it sparked thousands of tweets, memes, and think pieces. Some fans cheered her boldness. Others wondered if their favorite singer had gone too far. But Taylor, ever the showgirl, seems unconcerned. Last week, Swift raised eyebrows after releasing her overtly sexual track, Wood, a music reporter noted. Plenty of Swifties were also taken aback by the astonishingly raunchy lyrics and sexual innuendos. Yet, the risk paid off. The album sold a staggering 2.7 million copies on its first day alone, a career high even for Swift. Of course, the album isn't the only thing keeping Swift in the headlines. Her romance with Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has become modern pop culture's favorite fairy tale, complete with red carpets, stadium kisses, and that jaw-dropping engagement ring. On The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, Swift gushed about her fiancé, calling him her favorite person, and recounting his nervous, heartfelt proposal. For a moment, she let the world in on the fairy tale. But just as quickly, she closed the door. The next day, on Air with Ryan Seacrest, Swift admitted she needed to hold something back. I got to figure out ways to make sure that I do have things that are just between us. And thankfully, we do have a lot of those things, she said. Even the details of Kelce's proposal, a moment that racked up millions of Instagram likes, are mostly off limits. That moment in particular is one that's always just going to be ours. For all her openness, Swift is fiercely protective of her real life, guarding the moments that matter most. For Taylor and Travis, living in the public eye is a double-edged sword. We're both very public-facing people, and both of our career paths involve entertaining people, so we're very kind of relaxed about things, she explained. But even the most seasoned performers need boundaries. This dance between public and private, spectacle and secrecy, is the heart of the life of a showgirl. Swift knows that showing just enough keeps people wanting more. Every confession is a calculated risk. Every withheld detail is an invitation to speculate. If there's one thing that sets this era apart, it's Taylor's growing obsession with legacy. We're doing this thing for keeps. I have such an eye on legacy when I'm making my music. I know what I made. I know I adore it, she told Apple Music. She's aware that the showgirl image, the glamour, the high drama, the spectacle, isn't just about album sales. It's about building something that lasts, a cultural moment that will be remembered long after the last encore. Swift is staking her claim as not just a pop star, but a pop icon. She knows the risks, she knows the stakes, and she's never been more willing to bet on herself. So what makes the life of a showgirl so compelling, even as it divides fans and critics alike? First, there's the honesty. Swift has always been confessional, but now she's raw. She's dropped the metaphors and embraced directness, showing a maturity and self-possession that's both shocking and captivating. Second, there's the spectacle. The outfits, the jewelry, the larger-than-life persona. Swift is playing with the idea of fame, poking fun at it, and reveling in it all at once. It's camp, it's clever, and it's uniquely Taylor. Third, there's the vulnerability. For all the bravado, there's an undercurrent of longing in the new music, a desire for privacy, for something real. Swift is inviting listeners into her world, but reminding them that not everything is for sale. Love it or hate it, the life of a showgirl is a juggernaut. With 2.7 million copies sold on day one, it's not just a hit, it's a cultural earthquake. Every song, every lyric, every outfit is dissected, debated, and devoured by fans and critics alike. And yet, Swift seems untouched by the chaos. She welcomes it, maybe even thrives on it. For her, the album's mixed reviews are just proof that she's doing something right. In a world obsessed with consensus, Swift is happy to be controversial. Where does Taylor Swift go from here? If her career has taught us anything, it's to expect the unexpected. She might pivot to a stripped-back, acoustic sound. She might headline Las Vegas in full showgirl regalia. She might disappear for a year, only to return with an even bolder vision. But one thing's for certain, whatever she does, we'll be watching. Because Taylor Swift isn't just a pop star. She's a master storyteller, a cultural force, and now the ultimate showgirl, owning the stage, the story, and the spotlight. In the end, the life of a showgirl is more than an album, it's a statement. Taylor Swift is here to entertain, to provoke, to confess, and to keep you guessing. She's flaunting her legs, her love, her flaws, and her fears. She's shining brighter than ever and inviting you to join the spectacle. So lean in. Listen close. The show's just getting started, and if Taylor Swift has anything to say about it, you won't be able to look away.